Good morning, NES and everybody. Today is Friday. Happy Friday. I hope you're all looking forward to the weekend. We do have some birthdays today and over the weekend. Happy birthday today, which is May 22nd, to Penelope Burns and Travis King. And over the weekend, tomorrow on Saturday, we have no birthdays, but hi. And on the 24th of May, which is Sunday, happy birthday to Lila Murphy and Callie Sicard. So here's your birthday song, everybody. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Penelope, Travis, Lila, and Callie. Happy birthday to you from NES. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend and enjoy your special day. Talk to you Monday. Bye-bye.
Good morning, NES. Happy Friday. It is Friday, May 22nd. And as you can see, we started these morning announcements a little different than our other ones. We started with Miss Fecto and birthdays because we wanted to celebrate those people. But the rest of the morning announcements is going to be dedicated to honoring Memorial Day. If we were at our building right now, we would all be walking down to the gymnasium for our annual Memorial Day assembly. But since we can't go to that assembly, we thought we'd bring the assembly to you. Veterans Day and Memorial Day are sometimes confused with one another. Veterans Day is November 11th, and that is a day that we honor all veterans, active and retired military personnel, and we thank them for their service. Memorial Day, though, is set aside to honor the brave men and women who died serving our nation. More than 1.2 million Americans have died in battle on behalf of our country. We set Memorial Day aside to ensure we never forget those who gave the last full measure. Memorial Day started with the Civil War. Over 620,000 Americans died during the Civil War, which is more than 2% of the U.S. population at that time. It was a tragic and scarring event for the people of that time. At the Battle of Gettysburg alone, there were more casualties than the entire Revolutionary War and War of 1812. So it is to this shocked nation that Abraham Lincoln gave his Gettysburg Address and said that from these honored dead, we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion. That we here are highly resolved that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. So, on Memorial Day, we honor those who gave their lives for our nation by pausing and reflecting and realizing that we continue to have a democratic nation thanks to the sacrifices of so many brave men and women. So to honor Memorial Day, we have Captain Andrew Fecto joining us on the morning announcements from Barksdale Air Force Base in Louisiana. Before Captain Fecto joined the Air Force, he was a student at NES and Triton just like you. And of course, he is the son of our one and only Miss Fecto. After we hear from Captain Fecto, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance thanks to so many students at NES. Michael Walsh will sing the national anthem for us. And Miss Fremont Smith's husband and sons will play Taps. Taps is the national song of remembrance and is played at military funerals and occasions like this. So I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And as part of that weekend, if you're looking for a way to honor Memorial Day, you can put flags or flowers on the graves of men and women who served in war. You can, on Monday, fly the U.S. flag at half-mast until noon and then raise it. And you can also visit our local monuments to soldiers, sailors, and Marines. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Thank you for helping us honor Memorial Day today with these announcements. And God bless America. Good morning, Captain Fecto. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well. How are you?
Good. Well, thanks so much for joining our morning announcements. I don't know if everybody realizes, but not so long ago, you were a student at NES yourself.
I was. Yep. I went to NES and then went to Triton for my high school.
And well, tell us, Captain, a little bit about where you're currently stationed and your current assignment.
So I'm stationed in Barksdale, Louisiana. Well, Barksdale Air Force Base in Louisiana. It's down Shreveport, so northwest Louisiana, close to Texas and Arkansas. So here it's B-52s. That's what the main operation is here. Second Ops Group is the one that does that B-52 operation. So we have 2 operational squadrons here, 1 test squadron, and then 1 weapons school for the B-52. So my main job here is actually I work with the simulators and fly the plane. So we do all of the upgrades that come into the simulator to help us fly and learn how to fly without actually having to go up in the air and burn that gas. So that's my main job here.
And what exactly do you do on the B-52? You say when you fly it, what is your specific role?
Yeah, so my specific role is navigator. So I work downstairs in our jet. So there's 2 pilots upstairs, an electronic warfare officer also upstairs, and then there's going to be 2 weapon systems officers downstairs. So that's what my specific title is, weapon systems officer. And then we have 2 seats downstairs, radar navigators and navigators. So I work in both seats. So we do all the timing, navigations, and anything related to our weapon systems for our airplane.
And so you're currently stationed at Barksdale Air Force Base, but what can you tell us a little bit about where else you've been stationed and other opportunities you've had in the Air Force?
Yes, so I went into the Air Force in 2014, in February of 2014, and for initial training, officer training school, I went through Maxwell Air Force Base in Alabama. Then once I finished there, I went down to Pensacola, Florida at Pensacola Naval Station. That's where I learned how to fly. My initial nav school was through that. And then I actually went to Barksdale first to go through the B-52 program. So here. And then from there, I was sent up to Minot, North Dakota at Minot Air Force Base, where I was in my first operational squadron up there in the 69th Bomb Squadron. I deployed from there to IUD. So we flew up into Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan, and that was an 8-month deployment for me. Then when I came back, I came about 6 or 8 months later is when they sent me down here for this new job. So I've been here since September.
And what made you join the Air Force? And, to students who are at NES now or at Triton, can you tell them a little bit about when you were there? At what point did you decide that the Air Force might be right for you?
So for me, I've had a lot of family that have been in the Air Force, military in general. So Air Force, Marines are mostly my family. And then a lot of close friends have been in the Army, and a few are actually in the Navy currently. So for me, it was a lot of family, close relatives. That was my main driver. It's probably junior or senior year in high school is when I really thought about the military. And for me, I wanted to go in as an officer. So that meant getting a college degree first, then going in that way. So that's how I did it. So I got my college degree and commissioned as an officer in the Air Force and came out as a first lieutenant.
And you've been in for 6 years now?
Yes. So six years, commissioned in May. And so a little bit, almost 6.5 now from the initial day where I joined the military. Yep.
And to those students at NES and in Triton, do you have any memories from there that you'd share or advice that you might have for them? From
high school, looking back, the one thing that I did was I did the best I could in every class that I took. Because, if I hadn't done that, it wouldn't have given me the opportunities that I had. Letting time flies. So, when you're in that moment, all I try to do is the best I could. And even back then, that's what I did. Every class, every sport that I played, it all adds up. So it gives you the opportunity and it opens a lot of doors. If you don't take advantage of that stuff, you get a lot of doors that never get opened to you, or you're closing them, on yourself. So that's what I'd say. Just take every opportunity and do the best that you can at whatever you're doing.
Great. And well, we're here today to honor Memorial Day and to pause and reflect on that important day. Can you tell us a little bit about what Memorial Day means to you?
So Memorial Day to me, there's always that difference between Veterans Day and Memorial Day. So Memorial Day, we all join the military as it's a volunteer force, so we all come in by our own choice. And Memorial Day is about those people that they gave that choice, and knowing that there could be that ultimate sacrifice that you may never come home from one of those deployments. And we all run that risk, but Memorial Day is about those people that gave their life for the freedom that we have every day here in America. And I think this one day in particular is a day for us all to stop and remember those individuals that gave everything they had so we can live a life like we do.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today and helping us honor Memorial Day. And most importantly, thank you for your service. On behalf of NES, on behalf of Triton, the entire Newberry community, and Grateful Nation, thank you to you and to everyone else who is serving our country.
Thank you very much.
Stay safe and hope to see you soon.
Thank you. Will do.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic
for which it stands,
one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red